Hello, it's the Magical Fort, and today I am going to be playing a game on Steam. Let's see. It's called The Sad Story of Emmeline Burns, and it looks really good. So I was like, why not? So yeah, I actually forgot that today was Wednesday, so I thought my day was supposed to be tomorrow. So I'm just making this quickly, or hopefully quickly. Yeah. Oh, and the music playing is from a musical called Be More Chill. It's really interesting, and I think you guys should listen to the soundtrack because it's actually really interesting. I need something to pop the mouse on. There's no saw here. Okay. Does this work? Oh no, but it stopped doing it. Here, I'm actually going to turn this off. Okay, so there's music. Okay. Okay. That's cool. This is doing here. What's his preferences? The Sad Story of Emmeline Burns. Let's go to new game. My name is Toma Andrews, and I'm a victim of identity theft. It's all Aunt Catherine's fault, of course. Most things are, according to Mom. Stealing Mom's favorite dress when they were both schoolgirls was bad enough, but stealing the name of her first and only daughter? Now that's low, and not many of us can sing to within our lifetimes. My name was supposed to be Amelia. Mom has always loved the name Amelia, though I don't know why. She wanted to call me Amelia if I was a girl and Thomas if I was a boy, after her father. And then Aunt Catherine ruined everything. Aunt Catherine fell pregnant with her first child around the same time my mom found out she was going to have me. Their due dates were also very similar, only a few weeks apart. Though Mom and Aunt Catherine have never been particularly close, they spend more time together during their twin pregnancies than they had done over the last decade. They attended the same hospital for their checkups and went to the same support group at the Civic Center. I don't even know. And their rocky relationship improved over complaints about bladder infections, morning sickness, and uncontrollable cravings for anchovies, Mom, or smoked cheese, Aunt Catherine. And then Aunt Catherine stole my name. Aunt Catherine is 1 year younger than my mom, but she always got things first. That's what Mom told me. She was the first to have her period, to pierce her ears, and to have a serious boyfriend. She was the first to have a baby, too. A baby girl. A girl called Amelia. Mom didn't know what to do, having her dream name stolen away from her so suddenly. She had half a mind to confront Aunt Catherine about it, but didn't in the end. She'd only just begun to repair her relationship with her sister, and she didn't want to ruin it. But she was still annoyed. She still is. Mom could have called me Amelia anyway, but the name didn't feel special to her anymore. Not when Aunt Catherine had used it. In the end, after much deliberation, Mom decided to go with her second option, Thomas. Since I was girl, however, Thomas was out of the question. Was there a female variant of Thomas then? Thomasina? Thomasandria? Thomasetta? Maybe not. There was Toma, however. Toma Andrews. And that's how I got my name. That might explain why I don't like it very much. My name isn't really mine. Like clothes that are 2 sizes too big, it doesn't fit me properly. It never has. That's because it was never intended for me. If I'd been called Amelia, would my life be any different? Would it change who I am? I don't know, because I've never been an Amelia. I'm just Toma, the weird girl with the weird name. And my name isn't the only weird thing about me. Ever since I can remember, my mom has been obsessed with family history. She says it's like playing detective, peeking back into the past with only fragments of information trying to find the truth. Mom took me to the library with her when I was small so she could keep a watchful eye over my little blonde head while she delivered into the annals of our family's long history. There, she would spend hours and hours searching through the online databases and old archives on the hunt for articles about the Spencers or the Kendalls or the Lintons or the Becketts or the Bradfords. Fortunately, our family used to be pretty rich back in the day. Mom says it's a lot easier to research your family tree if you come from a wealthy background. There are more records kept on the comings and goings of the rich, as opposed to the street beggars and paupers. That's probably because of the money. As soon as money is involved, people will pay attention to you. It was like that back in the 1700s, and it's exactly the same now. I remember that the floor of the library was hard, covered in dark green carpet that was uncomfortable and scratchy, and the walls were a dull gray like the concrete blocks in a multi-story car park. I don't know. Though Mom got me a library card, I always got bored within the first half hour or so. There are only so many times you can reread volumes of Goosebumps. Despite these inconveniences, however, I still found the stories Mom would tell me about my long-dead relatives interesting. The stories sounded like they came from the pages of a book, not real life, not history, my history. There were stories about my great-great-grandfather, Zachary Kendall, who used to be a priest but was fired from his post after he physically assaulted a member of his congregation while drunk on Christmas Day. There were stories about my great-great-great-grandmother, Maribel Spencer, who ran away from home at the age of 15 to marry her middle-aged piano teacher, Roger Beckett. There were stories about my great-great-great-great-aunt Rose Bradford, who was rumored to be a witch and claimed she could cure any aches or illness with a sprig of holly. I don't know why, but these stories my mom told me of unknown people from unfamiliar times always resonated with me. Maybe it was because they weren't fictional characters or celebrities, but real people. My family. Part of me. I wouldn't be alive right now without Zachary Kendall, even if he did beat up a member of his congregation, and I wouldn't be alive without Maribel Spencer, even if she did have a thing for older men who could play a semi-decent Verhullis. In a way, I owe them. I owe them a lot. I suppose what they say is true. Blood really is thicker than water. And speaking of blood, the local library wasn't the only place my mom's investigations led her. Oh no, that was just the tip of the iceberg. She used to take me to cemeteries a lot. Not just this cemetery, Barby All Saints, but cemeteries all across Lincolnshire. I don't know. And sometimes even further afield to Yorkshire or Leicestershire. Or sure, I don't even know. The thing about family history is if you get obsessed with it, like Mom, birth certificates and death certificates stop being enough. You want to see real evidence of your ancestors' past lives for yourself. Hence the graveyards. Lots and lots of graveyards. Every weekend without fail, my mom would take me on a trip to a graveyard searching for ancestors. Sometimes we'd turn it into a game. We'd challenge one another to see who could find Rose Bradford's final resting place in the quickest. No, I didn't see that. It's here. So, what please do? I'm gonna say, oh, can I not save? I'm gonna go to empty slot. What does that do? I go with no. Wait, what is the... Oh, I saved it twice. Oh, did I accidentally press that? We challenged one another to see who could find Rose Bradford's final resting place at Cookie's. The winner got to choose what we'd listen to in the car on the way home. Being my mom's daughter, I hated her taste in music, and I was desperate to beat her. I got quite good at finding graves, if I do say so myself, even though I was around 7 or 8, and my legs weren't as long as my mom's. I was able to beat her 9 times out of 10. I used to think she was going easy on me. Now I'm not so sure. I just have a talent. I'm good at finding dead people, even if they have been dead for 2 centuries, and all that's left behind are bones. Now let me just get going. Now let me just get one thing straight. I'm not crazy. I don't think dead people call out to me or anything. I've never seen a ghost before, excluding the ones in horror movies. I guess it's just a coincidence. But it's quite a strange coincidence. Whenever I went to a graveyard with my mom, I just knew where to look, almost instinctively. My feet just happened to lead me to a tombstone, and via some strange skill I might have inherited from Rose Bradford, the self-proclaimed psychic, I was usually right. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. Hold on. What was that? That might be why I'm so obsessed with cemeteries, even now. Just like some people prefer hot weather, or others cold, I like graveyards. They remind me of my childhood, a fun time spent with my mom searching searching for my relatives. When I went out looking for graves with my mom, I was almost always right. Living in Hughes College, however, I've only ever felt wrong. Though I get good grades in most of my classes, I'm hopelessly lost when it comes to anything beyond that. I have hardly any friends other than Hattie, and even though she might turn against me if she knew how I felt about her, I'm nothing like Amelia Miller, who just so happens to be in the same form as me. She's always surrounded by people. They all love her. But if I'd been called Amelia instead, I don't know. But I do know, even though it's unfair and ridiculous, and I don't dislike Amelia, I'm still jealous of her. Her parents are still together, and her dad has a good job, and she has nice skin and pretty blue eyes, and she's incredibly popular. I, on the other hand, am awkward and shy, and I can't hold a conversation with anybody other than Hattie. That might be another reason why I like graveyards. There are a lot of people in them, but they can't bother me like they do in school. They're dead, and that's perfectly fine by me. As the saying goes, dead men tell no tales. They only leave tales behind which we can examine as we see fit. That's why I came to Barbie All Saints this Friday instead of catching the bus to go to school, where I can stop being myself. No, if only I had been born as an Amelia, then my life would be so much better. I would be so much better. But I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna overdo that. That would just, I don't need okay. Return. I'll do this for a couple more minutes. I think we still have a little more time left. The days overcast or early autumn, and a thick layer of fog creeps along the ground. The grass is wet with morning dew, but the soil beneath it is firm and hard. I suppose that's to be expected. You wouldn't want to build a graveyard on marshland where people would run the risk of falling through the earth and into the graves. I might have an affinity for the dead, but not even I fancy popping in for an unexpected visit with Gerald Fisher 1843-1912, and Emmeline, wife of the above. It's cold too. The wind snakes down my spine and I shiver. It isn't a rough wind though. Instead, it's soft, brushing past my cheek and through my hair in an almost apologetic manner. The leaves on the tree are so dark. The leaves on the tree are dark green, some already turning red and yellow, but the sun in the sky is obscured by clouds, so everything looks scary. My feet crunch over the stray leaves with every step I take, but that's the only sound I can hear. Just me, the wind, and the waves. As I walk through these well-trodden paths, I pause, examining each tombstone that catches my interest. There's something strangely inviting about these old slabs of stone, almost as though they're greeting me. And why wouldn't they? I come here often enough. They should know me by now. Any other mother would probably find their only daughter's obsession with graveyards unsettling. Fortunately, my mom is just as weird as I am, so she doesn't question it. She must know my love of graveyards is all her fault. I nod my head in recognition as I pass each tombstone. Alistair Doncaster, Irene Douglas, Charlotte Draper, Doreen Hughes, Abel Johnson, Genevieve Parsons, Aubrey Wedgwood. I wonder about these people, reduced to nothing more than names and bones. Ow. What lives did they lead? Were they happy, sad, or merely bemused by all the coincidences which led them into being? For Alistair Doncaster, that happened in 1879. For Irene Douglas, it was 1894. What was the world like back then? When these people were alive and their footsteps, not mine, crunched the leaves and fell firmly against the compacted earth? I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine it. As I walk through the graveyard, like Alice sinking into Wonderland, a heavy thought suddenly strikes me. What would it be like if I was already dead? Okay. I'm gonna end right here. Just, wait, did it work? Say yes. Overlap. Oh, yes, it did. Okay. I'm gonna stop here and I'll do a second video. I'll just have to remember which channel to post it on. But I actually do like this so far. I think it's a really nice story. So if you have Steam, you should play it. It's called The Sad Story of Emmeline Burns. So you should definitely check it out. And I hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye, everyone.